Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you for joining in the class. We'll start. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakhaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we had completed till the 58th shloka, and we're moving on to the 59th shloka, where see in the flow actually is going that we were discussing about the Brahmabhuta platform. From the Brahmabhuta platform, then we moved on to the process of attaining the Brahman, then from the Brahmabhuta stage to the Bhakti stage, and how by only Bhakti one can know Krishna and attain his spiritual abode. And then we had started with pure Bhakti, that is how activities, whatever sevas or karmas that you do in bhakti will lead us to Krishna's dham. And the last that we saw was a result of working in Krishna consciousness and result of not following the Supreme Lord's instructions. So this is where we had halted. And over here, so now from the next section onwards, Krishna is going to give us the process of surrender, that how one works, as per the order of Krishna or the Supreme Master or the Director, what will happen. So from this shlok, Krishna says that, what does he say? This is a very nice shloka, not this one, no, the 59th one. He says, Yad ahankaramashritya na yotsya iti manyase mithyesa vyavasya sthite prakritistvam niyokshati. So he says that if you do not act according to my direction and do not fight, then you will be falsely directed. By your nature, you will have to be engaged in warfare. So this is actually he's indicating a Kshatriya's duty, because in the previous verse, if you see, it said, Atha chetham tum ahankaram na shoshashi vikanshasi. So Krishna is now going to tell that when there is ego or when there is ahankar, then there is vinash, or there is devastation taking place. So over here, when he's talking about yad ahankaram ashita na yotse iti manye. So if you think that, I will not fight, na yotsa, if he's thinking that, okay, I will not fight, I will, sit like this only. So he's saying that, then that is false. Mithyasi vyavasayah, this particular determination is actually false. Or vyavasaya means determination. And this determination will come falsely directed towards you only. This is what he's saying. So Srila Prabhupada has written that in this purport that, see, Arjuna is a Kshatriya, he is a military man, right? And it is his duty to fight. So he will fight whether, by Krishna's will or by his independent nature. Therefore, Prabhupada is saying that therefore his natural duty was to fight. But due to false ego, he was fearing that by killing his teacher, grandfather, parents, he would incur sinful reactions. Actually, he was considering himself the master of his actions, as if he were directing the good and bad results of such work. He forgot that the Supreme Personality of Godhead was present there, instructing him to fight. This is the forgetfulness of the conditioned soul. So, what is the forgetfulness of this conditioned soul? That the Supreme Lord is present and he's instructing him to fight. The Supreme Lord is present in our hearts also, and he's instructing us and he's giving us directions. So, the first step in Sharanagati is only that um, you understand that I am not the controller, and you depend on Krishna for everything. Helplessly, if we depend on Krishna, then everything will fall in its place. So, Prabhupada is saying that the Supreme Personality gives directions as to what is good and what is not, and simply one has to act in Krishna consciousness to attain the perfection of life. So, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has given many directions. We just have to act on those directions, and that will be the perfection of our life. So, ahead Prabhupada says, no one can ascertain his destiny as the Supreme Lord can. Therefore, the best course is to direction from the Supreme Lord and act. And no one should neglect the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or the order of the spiritual master who is a representative of God. One should act unhesitating to execute the order of the Supreme Personality. That will keep one safe under all circumstances. Till the moment we are following the instructions of the Supreme Lord, then definitely we'll be, very safe and secure. Okay, we'll go to the next. स्वभावजेन कौन्तेय निबद्ध स्वेन कर्मणा कर्तुं निच्छसि यन्मोहात् करिष्यसि अवसो अपि तत्. Under illusion, you're not declining to act according to my direction, but compelled by the work born of your own nature, you will act all the same, O son of Kunti. So if you see, where he's saying that swabhava jena kaunteya. So, born of your own swabhava, your own nature, nibaddha. Nibaddha means what? That he's conditioned or he's bound, bandha hua hai. Svena karmana, he's saying that according to your own svena, according to your own swabhava, you are inclined to do some karma or some kind of work as such. Using kartum nichhasi yan mohat. So, see, when we say kartum nichhasi yan mohat, na ichhasi. So, na ichhasi means what? Not wanting to do. If you desire that, I will do it. And my swabhava nirikta karma. So, the karma according to my swabhava, then what will happen? Karishyasi. Karishyasi means you will do. Okay. Karishyasi avaso apitat. Then helplessly you will be forced to act according to your swabhava later on. So, see, we have to be very careful over here that Krishna is talking about swabhava. He's talking about nature. Our own swabhava or my own swabhava. He is not talking about vasana. Vasana has to be regulated, because in the third chapter also we saw that there is one section, from 36 shloka to 43 shloka, that whole section was talking about lust. So this swabhava does not include desire, which is because of lust, anger, greed, pride, or illusion. It is referring to our vritti, not vasana. So, and according to our varna also. So, acting to our nature is, indispensable. And we have to act according to this particular nature. So, if you see in Prabhupada's purport also, Prabhupada says everyone is under the spell of a particular combination of modes of nature and is acting in that way. But anyone who voluntarily engages himself in the direction of the Supreme Lord, he becomes glorious. So the next he's saying, now see, from here, a different section is only starting, that a more confidential knowledge will be starting off from here. So Krishna is saying that because this is how, because the last 2-3 purports we saw that Prabhupada is saying that surrender to the Supreme Lord, surrender to the directions of the Supreme Lord, surrender to the instructions of the Supreme Lord. So now what is this surrendering process? How to surrender to the Supreme Lord? This is what is going to be, said in this particular section, and this section will run from 61 to 63 shloka. In our Subodhini, we have it. Okay. So let's see. This is a very important shloka where it says that Ishvara sarva bhutanam hrideshi arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rudhani mayaya. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated on as a machine made of the material energy. So, see, Krishna is explaining that everyone has a nature and we act according to our nature. That is the, and Krishna mentions that above this nature is also whom? Above the nature is himself, who is the Supreme Lord. Right? That's why he's saying that Ishvara Sarva Bhutani Hrideshi Arjuna Tishtati. So, Krishna is the Supreme Lord, he is the Ishvara, and he is the controller of the controllers. Ishwar means controller. Okay, the meaning of the word Ishwar only means a controller. So sometimes even people try to become small mini controllers, Ishwara, and to control other people. So we have to check ourselves that whether I am a controller or what I am. So the father will try to control the wife and the children. The mother will try to control the children and the husband. Or the children will try to control their own parents, blackmail and all this. If I don't get this, I'm not going to eat food. So everybody, over here is trying to control each other. So he's saying that Sarva Bhutanam, so he's situated in all the living entities or living beings. Of course. Now, where is he situated? He's saying that Hrideshe Arjuna Tishtati, in the region of the heart. So the Lord is situated not in the heart, but in the region of the heart, in the location of the heart. Prabhupada is not translated over here in the heart, in the location or the region of the heart. So, a soul is situated not only in the heart, but in the region of the heart. So we talk about the heart in two senses. One is the biological heart that we have, and the other is the metaphorical heart, like sometimes if you see, in that love heart, some people show arrow and, some people show some drops of blood also when he or she is hurt that way. So, though it's it's a metaphorical heart, it's representing, the emotions that I'm hurt. So Krishna is saying that Hrideshe Arjuna Tishtati. So the soul and the super soul both are seated in the region of the heart next to each other. Right? And then he's saying that Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani, Brahmayan means they are traveling or they are wandering. And so all these living entities, they are wandering in the existence. And see, sometimes, over here, Prabhupada has translated as travel, but sometimes the travel could be purposeful, but sometimes it could be just aimlessly wandering. somebody just removes his bike and, he is like, going here and there and just seeing some sightseeings and, he's driving or riding. So now, how is this person traveling or wandering? Yantra Rudhani Mayaya. He's situated on a yantra, on a machine, which is made up of matter. He's wandering aimlessly, but how is he wandering? On what vehicle is he wandering? Yantra, that yantra is, or that machine is matter. And what is that machine? That machine is my body. So Krishna is saying that this body is like a machine, and the machine in itself, or the yantra in itself, is not conscious. It is like a mechanistic. It is made up of some certain components which are brought together, and they serve some function and work according to some laws. So the body alone, uh, or the body is not alone. It has the soul, which affects the functioning of the body. So this body is yantra, and the soul is using this particular machine or yantra. So the soul is conscious, and the soul, being a conscious person, if it's affecting the functioning of the body, and the soul affects the function of the body through what? Through its desires. Like, for example, some video game, somebody is playing some virtual reality video game, right? And there is a person who has invented this video game, and some synonyms like God, or a person who's playing this video game like soul, and he identifies a mechanism, some character in the video game as himself, and that character can be a car or a police. So the mechanism is also provided by the one who has invented, or the Supreme Lord in our case. So depending on our nature, or the modes of material nature that we have inherited, we've been given a position in this particular game. And suddenly a thief cannot come, or this thief cannot become a police, or a police cannot become a thief. So according to my varna, I'm acting. And if I'm acting properly, because of my varna, whatever varna I'm situated in, then I'll become purified. So this whole system of varna and ashram, it is being supervised by whom? It is being supervised by the Supreme Lord. So he's the one who has done this whole setup, and he's only directing this wandering particular soul. So that is why he's saying Brahmayan, and Brahmayan means only that the Supreme Lord, Krishna, he is supervising this whole act, right? So, and because the Supreme Lord is supervising this, so I, who is the soul, I am the desirer, and whenever I desire, who is sanctioning? The Lord is sanctioning. And who is executing it? This material nature is executing. So when I desire, who is sanctioning? The Supreme Lord. Who is executing? The material nature. Like, for example, somebody goes to a neuroscientist and has done this experiment that he activated one part of the brain, and then the hand moves up, and then deactivated and he deactivated, so the hand fell. And he asked the person, so on which experiment is done, how you raised your hand, and then he removed that artificial activations. So this uh, and this person has to raise his hand this time, he admits that he has raised the hand. So sometimes even some external force is there, but you still have your own desires, right? So this neuroscientist has activated different parts of the brain. He asking the person, are you the activator of the action, Then the person is saying no. Then the scientist has concluded that, see, although this brain is like a computer, right? But the activator is different. He is somewhere outside, right? So science is telling us, this motor nerve system, and he's, through this he's raising his hand. But that is just the execution part. And before the execution, there is a desiring part, and then there is a sanctioning also from the Supreme Lord. So uh, the Lord is sanctioning the desires, and he provides facilities to the soul as per whatever his desires are there and which he can afford. So Krishna is he's providing actually this overall framework. And within that, the living entity is actually working, right? So different living entities work in different ways according to their nature, according to the modes. So when we are working, as per our nature, that is mentioned, we saw in the 59th shloka, that one is working as per his nature anyway, out of false identity or out of ahankar, right? And he's working out of even illusion also. So this material nature will engage us, and we cannot give up our nature. And in this verse, Krishna is telling that you and the nature is controlled. The Supreme Lord is saying that the living entities and the nature is controlled by the Supreme Lord himself, Krishna itself. And that is why now the next verse actually Krishna will tell that, that is why you should surrender. Otherwise, you will attain inauspicious. And if you surrender, then you will attain all auspiciousness. Let's see the next sloka. Okay. So he's saying over here, is 62. त्वमेव शरणं गच्छ सर्वभावेन भारत तत्प्रसादात् परं शान्तिं स्थानं प्राप्यसि शाश्वतम्. O scion of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. By his grace, you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and eternal abode. Now, again, Krishna is talking third person, because in 58th sloka, Krishna says that if you do not act as per, uh, uh, as per the being in my consciousness, then you will be lost. Machchita sarva durgani vinakshasi. He says vinash ho jayega aapka. Yeah, vinakshasi only. And how will you be lost? Then he is saying that uh, uh, you will be forced to act according to the material nature, because that is the 59th shloka, which is saying that if you do not work that way, then you will be lost. And you'll be forced to act according to this material nature. What means what? That we have to go beyond this material nature. So he talks about, how he's the controller in this previous verse. And if he's the controller, then swabhava means everything, like, swabhava, or swabhava is like, the idea that is everything controlled by the swabhava. So Krishna is telling that no, he is the controller in all the bodies, which is made by Maya. And he's saying that he is in control of the bodies. He is the control of the living entities also. So now Krishna is going to describe that how I can turn towards him. And that is why he's saying that Tameva Sharanam Gaccha. Tvam eva sharanam. Then that is why you please surrender. Krishna is telling, surrender unto that Supreme Lord Because because Krishna is progressively revealing the knowledge. So after uh, to Arjuna about surrender, he has gone down to this material nature. From material nature, he first comes to this Paramatma, then he will come again to Bhagwan. Okay. So from material nature to Paramatma, then to Bhagwan. This is how the progression happens. So often when Krishna is referring to Paramatma, he is referring actually to himself only as the third person, because he is only the Paramatma. And that is why he is referring that to that super soul, you surrender. But actually, Arjuna has to surrender to the Supreme Lord's Krishna's instructions right over there on the battlefield only. So, Swabhavena Bharata, he's saying that. Sarva Bhavena Bharata. So, he's telling Sarva Bhavena. Sarva Bhav say, means Bhav means what? Wholeheartedly you surrender. Just completely surrender. Don't have any reservations while surrendering. You don't know what will happen if I surrender. Sometimes people get the word surrender only means, they're thinking that, okay, now we'll become Das, we'll become the servant, we will not be in control, because all their lives or all our lives, we've been in so much of control that we don't have the habit of being controlled. We are thinking that we are the controller. I will be controlling. But the moment we take shelter of Guru and Krishna, we actually submit our free will to them. Where was I reading the other day? Surrendering this free will. Somewhere I was reading and um, who was saying that time that surrendering that free will is very difficult, because when you are surrendering your free will, because nobody wants to surrender his free will, but when a particular person will surrender his free will to Krishna, it's not that Krishna will hold it and not allow him to move an inch here and there. No, it's not that way. When you say surrender your free will means what? You direct me, and according to your directions, when I will work, then I'll have all auspiciousness in my life. Till now, I was working according to my own whims, according to my own ahankar, according to my own moha, I was working, or according to my own will, I was working. And because I was working according to my own will, I'm bound by my actions, right? So now, when I'm working according to the directions of the Supreme Lord, then I will not be bound. When Guru and Krishna gives us instructions, and if we work according to that, then whatever work we will do, whatever karma we will do, that will be counted in bhakti only, and that is not going to bind us, right? So that is why he's saying that with all emotions you please surrender to me, with all your heart you surrender to me. And then he's saying that tat prasadat param. Tat prasadat means, so when this particular person is going to surrender with his emotions, then there is a reciprocation coming from the Supreme Lord. What is that reciprocation? Prasad. Krishna's mercy is going to come. And what is that mercy? That mercy is not an ordinary mercy. That grace is param. Param prasad. Param tat prasadat. It is actually a transcendental grace, right? And with that transcendental grace, what is going to happen? Because Siddhat Prasada means by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, who is situated in everyone's heart. So then what are you going to get out of that? Param Shantim. No, Param Shantim Sthanam Prapyasi. So you will be getting supreme peace. Sthanam Prapyasi Shashwatam. And along with that, you will get Shashwat Sthanam also. You will get eternal resting place also. You will get an eternal destination also. That is the eternal abode of the Lord. So, in material nature, as long as, we are situated, we cannot have an eternal destination. Till the time I'm, situated in this only, Swabhava and everything, I cannot get. So, whatever destination we will have, you know, if I'm situated in the material nature, then my destination will be temporary. But if I am situated in my own spiritual nature, then definitely I'll have an eternal destination, right? In the Supreme Lord's abode. So Krishna is not talking about peace in the material world. He's talking peace about that supreme peace, Param Shantim. There is supreme peace also, and there is peace of mind, and there is peace of heart also. Two, दो peace के बारे में, the peace of the mind and peace of the heart. So somebody might ask, okay, what is the peace of the mind? So peace of the mind means there'll be no anxiety or there'll be no trouble, and um, sometimes we go to some, or we see some scene, we panic, or we experience some anxiety. So, uh, so there'll be no anxieties as such. That's called peace of the mind. And peace of the heart means what? Param Shanti means what? The peace which is coming from loving and being loved. I'm loving Krishna and Krishna is loving me. So I'm being loved by Krishna. So the peace, that is coming from the Supreme Lord, that is called peace of the heart. So when I love somebody, see, even in the material world, if you see, if a mother loves the child very selflessly, so the child also is reciprocating from there. And the mother feels the highest pleasure or peace in the heart when she is actually serving her son or daughter, what the child, whoever it is, So that motherhood is a selfless love that she is exhibiting towards the child. Now, that same selfless love, when we exhibit towards the Supreme Lord, then there is a reciprocation also from the Supreme Lord side. And then that selfless, unalloyed, unmotivated, uninterrupted love that is there, then that is called peace of the heart. So sometimes somebody who's seeking for peace, and externally that supreme peace may look like anxiety, agitation, but it is peace because the heart is satisfied, because the heart rests in that joy. So, like, if you see, Prabhupada was also, in anxiety. Prabhupada also used to get agitated. Why? Because if things are not proper, then he used to be in an anxiety. Or if things wouldn't run properly, while building a temple, or there are no permissions given, or some book distribution, a book has not been printed. So Prabhupada was in a constant anxiety. Externally, devotees or disciples may think that, hey, my guru is in an anxiety. But see, that anxiety is not for some mundane person or for some mundane sense gratification. Now, that anxiety Prabhupada had taken for the Supreme Lord, right? So, inside Prabhupada was at peace. The heart was satisfied that yes, I'm going according to the directions of my spiritual master. My spiritual master, had ordered that if you get any money, print books. And on two things he was focusing on: printing books and building temples. So when you are in management, there will be anxiety, right? That will happen, and how will things go, and how will the festivals go, and how will the book distribution festival go on, how will Janmashtami festival go on. There is anxiety, and sometimes it does not work according to what has been told. Then there is agitation also. But inside you are peaceful, because whatever you're doing, your work, you're doing for the Supreme Lord, right? So Arjuna thought that he could have entered, in the forest, he could have he thought that he could have either Shanti or he could have some sthan or kingdom, that abode. Over here he's talking about Shanti and sthanam. But Krishna is assuring that, see, you will get Shanti also and you will get sthan also, both. But you will get it at a higher level, not at a lower level. So if Arjuna is surrendering to Krishna, so without surrender, if Arjuna would have acted, he could have got only those, only one. But those after surrender, they will get both. Okay. He might get only Shanti, but he would not get the eternal abode. But when a particular person surrenders to the Supreme Lord fully, then he'll get Shanti also and Sthanam also. He'll get the Supreme Abode also. And this is what actually Krishna is trying to say over here, that Param Shanti, eternal peace, and Shashvatam Sthana, eternal abode also you will get. So if you see, when you say Shanti, that is Param Shanti, and Sthana means Shashvat Sthan. So if you see what is happening in this actually chapter also, that gradually Krishna is taking us, from Karma Kanda to Jnana Kanda to Moksha also, right? And but he's saying that why go through this whole process from Karma Kanda to Gyan Kanda to Moksha Kanda? Better is a rapid way, is a bhakti way. So if we don't follow either way, then we are lost. So Krishna will talk, to a very higher level now, directly first, and then he talks about surrender to the super soul, and then he will talk about surrender to the Supreme Lord. So somebody might really ask that, see, in Kali Yuga, how will I discover my nature? How do I know, and how will I serve my nature? So most likely, uh, you know, my child will be of the same varna as me. But because some different generations of different varnas, or there's a mixture of some varnas, so the result is people, are getting birth, and whatever birth they're having, it's of mixed varnas. Like a Kshatriya gets married to a Brahmana, or a Kshatriya gets married to a Vaishya, or a Vaishya getting married to a Brahmana, right? So, but uh, one varna will be prominent, one varna will be very prominent. So, if I want to determine one's varna, then we have to find out to one extent in which we are externally competent and internally comfortable. Externally, I'm very comfortable with this seva. And competent with this seva. Like, competent with this seva means what? That's my expertise, or this is the seva that I relish, or this is that seva I look upon, or this is a seva which I can bring in dynamics to this particular seva. So what is that seva? We have to find out. It is deity worship, it is book distribution, it is preaching, it is reading, or it is, washing the temple, or, cooking, or there are many sevas, okay, in the temple. So where you are expert in that, and then when you do that seva, internally you are also very comfortable, very internally comfortable. So see, with me, I'll tell you my example, okay, or with Prabhupada also we'll see. Okay, we'll see with Prabhupada first. So Prabhupada was very comfortable by writing. He was externally competent. The speed that he was writing, nobody could match. And that is why internally he was very comfortable. Why? Because that was the instruction of his spiritual master, which he took it to heart. Right? So the spiritual master knows the psychophysical nature of the student or of the disciple, and that's how, knowing the psychophysical nature of the disciple, the spiritual master gives the instruction. Okay. For example, the spiritual master will not tell a thin, lean person to actually pick a big, heavy, rock. Okay. Of course, he will tell a heavy man or a very healthy person to pick up a rock, because he knows what is the capacity also of those two people, right? So that is why spiritual master knows that what will he or she be able to do and what he or she will not be able to do. And with the instructions comes the power also to execute that order. Giving the power means only giving the mercy to execute the Lord's mission. The spiritual master is not giving any instruction for his own benefit. He is giving an instruction for the benefit of that particular individual soul also. He is giving an instruction to fulfill the orders of his spiritual master also. He is giving an instruction to fulfill the orders of the Supreme Lord also. So that one instruction is catering to many factors wherein everybody is benefited. That particular disciple is also benefited. The spiritual master's instructions which he has got is from his spiritual master. The whole parampara, it goes to Krishna, and Krishna over there, he's crying for every living entity to come back home, back to him. So relieving that stress also of the spiritual or of the Supreme Lord, this is one instruction and many benefits. And the soul is also wandering, aimlessly in the material world, and he'll also be benefited. So you can say that externally competent and internally comfortable. Prabhupada was very comfortable by writing. And see, sometimes what happens now, I'll tell you. Like my spiritual master, okay? So my spiritual master, um, he was management by instruction. Prabhupada had given him management, and he was management by instruction. So management was not his personal choice. His personal choice was deity worship. He loved to do deity worship. And there is the spiritual master's, instruction, and there is your own, competent area also that you are competent in, or that is your own interest. So Maharaj, externally, he was very much competent with, building temples and book distribution and, all those management things. But when you say externally competent, means Archa Vigraha Seva, he was very much competent with, because anywhere he went, he never stopped, doing deity worship. He was definitely there in the altar, morning 4:30. Why? Because internally he was comfortable with that seva. That was his natural swabhava. He wanted to serve the Lord. So externally competent and internally he was very comfortable. And then, when we do that particular activity in our devotional life, then there are some activities which we do like to do. Some activities which we can do anyhow. Or like, for example, if you tell some, like, for my younger sister, I'll tell, okay, her example. You tell her to get up from the sleep and start doing book distribution, she'll do it. She's very comfortable. She likes to do it. And somehow or the other, she will do it against all odds also, or even if she has to tolerate something, that way, she will do it. So, And some activities which are definitely which we do not like, or which we do not, you know, uh, this, then, we actually put it on a little lesser this. We might do it, but not on a daily basis or a moment to moment. So generally, the activities which we like to do, we get the strength from those activities, right? So somebody might get strength from deity worship. Somebody might get strength from chanting. Somebody might get strength from reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Somebody might get strength from deity dressing. Somebody might get strength from cooking. Somebody might get strength from preaching. Somebody might get strength from collection. Somebody might get strength from washing the temple. Somebody might get strength from stitching. Recently, there's a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. She left her body. And of course, I do not know her much. Her name is, I think, Champak Manjari. And she died of cancer. She was battling with cancer, but definitely she had devotees all around her, and she was chanting Gopinath, Gopinath. And, till the last breath, she was chanting Gopinath, Gopinath. But and I didn't know this because on the WhatsApp group it came, all her glories came. And she was the one who used to stitch dresses for the deities, for Radha Gopinath, for Radha Sham Sundar, for Radha Madhav in Mayapur. So Radhanath Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj wrote a very nice note for her that she has been stitching the outfits for the Supreme Lord, and every day they're accepting those outfits what she has stitched. So Maharaj said that, let her, let Prabhupada and Krishna, definitely take her to the best destination that is suitable for her. Now you see, she was very comfortable with stitching dresses, and this is what she liked, and all her life she did that. But what is the result? At the end, at the fag end of her life, during, when she was about to leave her body, she had remembrance of the Lord. She had remembrance of Radha Gopinath. And she had the association of devotees. It's very rare, that somebody gets the association devotees. And it's a very fortunate soul gets the association devotees at their deathbed. So she had association of the devotees. She had the Harinam on her lips. And she had Ganga Jal, she had Tulsi Maharani, she had the remembrance of the Supreme Lord. Why? Because that one seva, which she was, externally competent with, and internally she was peaceful with that seva, she did it all her life. And that's how she sailed. Right? So, uh, you know, uh, so what activity, we like to do, we get strength from that particular activity. And the activity which we do not like to do, we have to, expend strength to do those activities. So we have to fight, ourselves doing those activities. But either way, by doing the activity, we have to do, do it. We'll gradually grow towards Krishna. Sometimes we might not like, sometimes people might not like chanting. People might not like reading. They don't have the habit of reading. But reading is giving me strength, right? So we have to do it, and then gradually we will grow towards, Krishna. And if we choose it intelligently, then we will actually see, we need to really find out that what is that one seva which is going to help me at the fag end of my life. And what one activity which is going to help me to remember Krishna at the fag end of my life. So in general, we have to do some activity which we like to do, and we may make spiritual life also, we may, we may progress also spiritually also, and we may make that spiritual life joyous also at our own level. But after that, when we become purified, we are not so much controlled by our nature. Because all the time, you're constantly thinking, how can I, um refine my services? How can I make my service more better? How can I, please Krishna in a more better way? So we are refining. So that is why our nature, our lower nature will not control us. You know, then whatever we wanted to do, then we can do it for Krishna's sake. And then we get joy out of that. So, of course, even pure devotees also, have their individuality in such a way that it pleases Krishna. So there is a spiritual individuality, and we are not talking about that right now. We're discussing about a material individuality, which has to be purified and which can be elevated, which can be uplifted also, which we can be purified by, engaging in services in a proper way. Like, see, many devotees, like, His Grace Gaurang Darshan Prabhu also, if you see, he's very much competent with writing books. So left, right, center, His Grace Gaurang Darshan Prabhu, what is he doing? He is writing books and writing books. Now that has become his comfort zone. Of course, that comfort zone means what? That is his expertise now in that. Like, that he finds his internal peace in writing books, right? So, or if you see His Holiness Lokanath Swami Maharaj, okay, he is very much competent in, kirtan. Right? Now that is his comfort zone. And internally, he's very peaceful while, singing the kirtan. And he can sing for long, long hours. Right? Or His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj very much competent with congregation development. And then when he sees, that the congregation is developed so nicely, people are joining in, people are connecting to Krishna, people are taken up to Krishna consciousness, he feels very peaceful. So, uh, which can be purified by engaging in services in a proper way, those services, if we do, then our material nature does not require, any rejection or repression. And see, rejection means what? Rejection means, imagine that I don't have this nature only, and uh, repression means I have, but I try to curb it, you know, and that will also not work. So rejection means, I don't like to do this, and this is not my nature. I will not do it. So you reject. And repression means I can do it. It is my capacity that I can do it, but I will not do it. I curb it. Forget it. Who will do, you know, who will do book distribution? Who will go and do cooking and all as such. So I'm curbing. And that will also not work. And because there has to be some expression and there has to be some direction also, right? I have my own material nature. And for example, if somebody has a Brahminical nature, then he has to act according to the Brahminical nature. He has to act as a Brahmana. But then there has to be some direction also, no? As a Brahmana. I may like to read many, many books, but um we have to study only some primary scriptures and books that will help us to understand the scriptures. So when we are talking about this, Sharanam Gacha, okay, when I'm talking about Sharanam, that is surrender, right? And that does not mean that, giving up everything material. Okay, now I'm, giving up everything and I'm just going. No, that does not mean that. It means that, see, you take some guidance how to best serve Krishna. You take guidance from the spiritual master, or you take guidance from Krishna himself to serve him best way. So this Varna Ashram Dharma is helping us to surrender to the Supreme Lord. And uh, uh, when Prabhupada is saying also, even in the second chapter, when Krishna is saying that this Varna Ashram is like, gradual surrender. And that is why His Holiness Bhakti Raghav Swami Maharaj is focusing more on Devi Varna Ashram. Devi Varna Ashram is a rapid surrender. to the Supreme Lord. And that is why Krishna is telling that you should surrender. You should surrender to me. Of course, over here he's saying surrender to that Supreme, that is the Paramatma. But Krishna very soon in the 66th verse will tell surrender to me. Okay. So now he's talking about uh, there's a connection. I'm just finding that connection over here in my book. Why did I not write the connection over here? So see, what is the Subodhini saying, okay? The purpose of the knowledge just revealed is to take shelter of the Lord. This surrender to the super soul is for worshippers of Krishna's expansion as the super soul Paramatma, where the worshippers Bhagwan surrender directly to the personality of Krishna, which will be explained in 65th and 66th. Okay. So then he's saying that इति ते ज्ञानम् आख्यातं गुह्याद् गुह्यतरं मया विमृश्यैतत् देशेन यथेच्छसि तथा कुरु. Thus I have explained to you knowledge, still more confidential knowledge. Deliberate on this fully, let's contemplate, and then do what you wish to do. Now Krishna is saying that iti te jnanam akhyatam. I have spoken this knowledge. And what kind of knowledge is there? What kind of knowledge I have spoken is guhyat guhyataram. Confidential and still more confidential knowledge I have spoken. See, guhyat is confidential and guhyataram is more confidential. And after this, what Arjuna should do, Krishna is actually guiding him. He's saying that Vimrishya etat asheshena yatha ichhasi. So, Vimrishi is like, you absorb or deliberating or you contemplate, right? And, or you can give maybe, when you say deliberating, you give a more serious intellectual thought also about it. And then he's saying that Aseshena. Aseshena means fully, thoroughly, you contemplate on this. Think seriously, think deeply about this, and in Ichhasi Tatha Kuru. So he's saying that now you act according to your own desire. You can act whatever you wish to do. So now Krishna has given him a free will, right? So because BG, many times, the Shastras, or at least, in our case, the Bhagavad Gita, it is not giving any commandments, it does not give commandments, it is giving choices. Krishna has given always choices. Okay, you do this. If not this, you do this. If not do this, you do this. If not do this, you do this. So Bhagavad Gita, has said, act for the pleasure of Krishna. And that is what this, the whole message of Bhagavad Gita is only this, that we are acting for the pleasure of Krishna. And when we are saying acting for the pleasure of Krishna, it is indirectly mentioning, that till the time, because even the previous shloka, when it is saying that Tadevam Sharanam Gaccha, when it's saying that, it's not imposing this message. It is saying that this message, and I'm telling you this, I told it to you, and see if it is making sense to you, then you surrender or you act accordingly. Otherwise, you have your free will and you can choose whatever you want to act like that way. So this freedom Krishna never takes it away from us. This free will that is there, Krishna always respects the free will that we have. Krishna will always give us the freedom of how we may want to act. That he does not snatch away. But see, this is what actually, just give me 1 minute, okay? I'm just running out of electricity. Give me a minute. Let me just connect to the main powerhouse. See, when Krishna is saying, no, that you surrender in the previous verse, okay? He's saying surrender. So, actually, the pure devotees, what they do is, they surrender their free will also to Krishna. They say that I don't want to act only according to what I want to act. I want to act exactly according to your directions only. And that is why, even though Krishna has given me a free will, or Krishna has given the pure devotees a free will, they have surrendered the free will also to Krishna. They have placed that free will at the lotus feet of Krishna. And because they have placed that free will to the lotus feet of Krishna, they are saying to Krishna, you only tell us what we have to do, we will just do it as it is. Whatever you say, we will do that only. If you say go in the jungle, we'll go in the jungle. If you say go in the desert, we'll go in the desert. So this is called that surrendering your free will to the instructions of the spiritual master and Krishna. So sometimes some people might think that, oh, I will be choked up if I give my free will to somebody. If I give away, I will be choked up. I will be handicapped. I will be helpless. But that's not the thing. When we surrender our free will to Krishna, we will become free from the clutches of this material nature, and we will transcend to our spiritual nature. Till the time we will not surrender our free. See, even in the spiritual world, every Brajvasi has surrendered his free will to Krishna. That free will, is at the lotus feet of Krishna only. Over there, they are working only for the pleasure of Krishna. Their own considerations, their own desires, their own aspirations, their own, anxieties, they don't matter anything at all. And they don't, of course, they have surrendered only that free will. So they are really not bothered from where will I get food and from where will I get clothing and where will I get shelter and where will I. That is not their, desire also, or their thought also not. Because they have completely surrendered to the Supreme Lord, they are living, their existence is only they're living for Krishna's happiness. They want to see Krishna happy eternally, not for one day, not for 2 days, not for a moment. They want to see Krishna happy eternally. And that is why these pure Brajavasis or the pure devotees are eternally residing in the heart of Krishna. Because they have surrendered the free will to Krishna. And that is why Punar Janma na vidya, they don't come back again over here. Because they have completely surrendered. Now we are Tatastha Shakti of the Supreme Lord. Tatastha Shakti means marginal energy. I have a choice. Either this side or this side. Surrender to the external energy Maya or surrender to the internal energy of Krishna Radharani. Because over there in the spiritual world, everybody is a servant of Radharani. Everybody is working according to the directions of Srimati Radharani. Because Srimati Radharani best knows what is the heart of Krishna, what is his desire. So according to that desire of Krishna, what is in the heart of Krishna, she is directing all the living entities over there. Now you do this, now you do this, now you do this, now you do this, now you do this. Do this to please Krishna, do this to please Krishna, do this to please Krishna. And over there, everybody is in obedience with her. Everybody is in obedience with her. And that is why eternally they can please Krishna. Eternally they can please Krishna. So, you know, this example is very common, that a child may be having, some 1,000 rupee note, but he may not understand the value of it. He may want to give it, give this 1,000 rupee note for a chocolate, which is, just 10 rupees. So he's giving 1,000 rupees, or he's giving 2,000 rupees. Nowadays we have 2,000. Oh, 2,000 rupee note is also banned now. Let's say 500 rupee note. Okay. So he's giving that money to the, the shopkeeper, and this parent also does not want to, take away that money from the child. They want to, guide him properly so that he can use it properly. Imagine the chocolate is for 10 rupees and I am giving, 500 rupees or 1,000 rupee note to the shopkeeper. Somebody who's externally thinking how foolish he is. 10 rupee ke chocolate ke liye he's giving 1,000 rupee. And if the shopkeeper knows that this child is innocent, he may not even return any money to that particular child, right? So our parents, Krishna wants us, or Krishna is guiding us that we use this human form of life properly, then we can get much more. If I'm utilizing this human life very properly in the service of Krishna, then I will go to the spiritual abode in the last slok that we saw. So, Krishna is not depriving us from our freedom, but we should not deprive ourselves in the name of freedom. In the name of freedom, this child will not use that 1,000 rupee note properly. So, this human body is very sudurlabham. It is very rare. After 84 lakhs of species, I have come in this human birth. And this human form of birth is also very temporary. Tadartham, arthadam. It is very valuable also, it's very temporary also. And it can grant me this param artha also. See, arthadam is, temporary. But param artha means that supreme destination, it can offer me this human form of birth, right? So, if you see this, if you see this is the conclusion actually. Krishna now has stopped giving his, what you say, you can say that he's completed his instructions. And now this whole camera has shifted towards Arjuna. And if you see in our Acharya's Tika also, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, has described that Arjuna has gone in deep thought of thinking, now what should I do? There was so much Krishna has spoken and analyzed. So Arjuna was in a very deep and a grave thought. Seriously, he's thinking. And seeing this, Krishna's heart is overflowing with compassion. And Krishna then told Arjuna that, see, you don't have to think so very deeply about this. I see your sincerity. I know that you are not whimsical. You're not independent. You have faith on me. So I will guide you what to do. Then that guidance, now Krishna is actually providing in this next verse that is there. He's giving the most confidential knowledge, right? And see, our acharyas have also written very nicely. So, See, if you see, there is this, Asheshena. Krishna is telling that you can contemplate, you can think, you can intellectually think as long as you want. But there is an implication also that how long can you contemplate? You're on the war field, there is some time limitation, right? So when a living entity is contemplating that what can give me happiness, uh, life after life, or lifetime after lifetime, or eternal happiness, but has come to some false conclusions, right? Somebody might think that the house can give me, happiness, or my children can give me happiness. But is it lifetime after lifetime? So when Arjuna is thinking deep in his contemplation and not been able to decide, Krishna makes things even more clearer to him now. Let's see the next shloka. Now, from this shloka onwards, these are all these golden shlokas coming up. So from here, he's going to give the most confidential knowledge. And what our Subodhini is saying, the Subodhini is a very nice book. I really like this book very much. It just gives me the whole clearer picture. So now Krishna is saying that सर्वगुह्यतमं भूय शृणु मे परमं वच इष्टो असि मे दृढम् इति ततो वक्ष्यामि ते हितम्. Because you are my dear, very dear friend, I am speaking to you my supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit. Now see, Krishna is now going to give the most confidential knowledge. So this is a very beautiful verse, and it is indicating that why this section, is, you can say, the conclusion of the Bhagavad Gita. Sarva Guhyatamam Bhuyah. It is the most confidential knowledge. And he's saying that because see, the previous verse, if you see, was Guhyata. Give me a minute. We'll just go to the previous verse. So the previous verse was Guhyat and Guhyataram. Confidential and more confidential. But now, this is what? Sarva Guhyatamam. Guhyat, Guhyataram, and Guhyatamam. If you see the positive, comparative, and superlative. So this is Sarva Guhyatamam Bhuyah. This is the most. And this Bhuya means again, he's saying. Shtunu me paramam vachah. He's saying that, please hear now, this param vachah. So he's saying that ishto si me dridam iti. Ishta means, dear. And if you see Prabhupada's translation also, no? Okay. Ishta asi, you are dear. Asi means you, okay? So, ishta means you're dear to me. And you're very dear to me. Dridam, very dear to me. Means, Arjuna, you are strongly loved by me. Imagine, Krishna loving somebody very strongly. And he's saying dridam means, with that is determination. It's strong determination. I love you, Krishna is saying. So Krishna is determined to not only love Krishna, Krishna is determined to love every one of us. But am I determined to love Krishna? Let me question that for myself on a daily basis. How much am I determined to love Krishna? So, and then he's saying that Tata Vakshami Te Hitam. Therefore, Hitam means for your benefit, for the benefit of everybody. It's like, Arjuna is only one person, but we have to say that he's speaking for my benefit. Saying that for the hitam of everyone, for the hitam of your benefit, I am speaking these things. Such a loving father, that sometimes, like even I remember sometimes, when we were in school and college, my father used to make us sit. And if we've gone somewhere wrong, he will guide us and say, see, I'm speaking for your only benefit. I'm speaking for this, that if you do this, you will actually excel more in your studies. If you don't do this, then you will, excel more in your studies. He gives me do's and don'ts. Or even, in fact, my mother also, while cooking, she says, Arey, don't do this. This is not good. Your hand will burn. Your hand will get cut. So, very lovingly, Krishna is also speaking, and it's a very, you can say that it's a very intimate expression of Krishna's heart. Krishna is, we can say that he's not a paid teacher in schools. He is like, who is like, very much detached. And we're just giving some instructions to the children. Children, do this. No, Krishna has a very personal relationship with that devotee or with that jiva in his heart. And that is why he is instruction Arjuna. So he has a very intimate relation with Arjuna, and that's why he's instructing. So, of course, and if you see, even Krishna is very much strongly attached to us. We are not realizing that. At least I am not realizing that he's very attached to me. And that is why Krishna is saying that Ishtosmi Dridam Iti. I am determined to love you. And actually, that is why we have to direct our intelligence, or we can say that I have directed my intelligence away from Krishna, and I am determined to forget him. The way Krishna is determined to love me, I have directed my intelligence in such a way that I'm determined to, forget him. So only by Krishna's mercy can I turn towards him. And I can learn to love him, and I can reciprocate with him, and I can reciprocate with his determination to love me. So that is why he's saying that Ishto Asi me Dridam Iti. I am determined to love you. So, and see, he's not determined only for this moment. He's determined. It's not like that some emotions came in Krishna. You know how you have the movies now? Some emotion comes in the heroine, and they start loving each other. No, that's not that. That's not that determination, not that way. So Krishna is determined to love me lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And Krishna never leaves me. He's always there with me to love me lifetime after lifetime. So this is what actually Krishna is saying. And Krishna is showing his determination, where he's saying that Tato Vakshami Te Hitam. So what is Krishna's determination? That he's always my Surid, he's always my ever well-wishing friend, and he's determined to speak beneficial words for my benefit. Hitam. So for your benefit, I am speaking these words, is what Krishna is saying. So that is why he's saying that Bhuyah. Again, I am speaking. Earlier also he has used the word Guhyatamam. In if you see in the 9th, chapter, idam tu te Guhyatamam Raukshami Anusuyave. So this Guhyatam, sorry, that is this Lord's picture is just collapsed. Yeah. So, what was I saying? This most confidential knowledge is spoken in the 9th chapter also. And that is why if you see the 9th chapter title is also most confidential knowledge. And in this chapter also, the most confidential knowledge is given. In the 9th chapter also, where Krishna says, Ananyas chintayantoma ye jana paripashate, and patram pushpam phalam tomam man manamaha mad bhakto madhyajiba namaskaro, right? So these are all these bhakti verses, and that is only guhyatamam. That is only the most confidential. So over here, even in the 15th chapter, he has used, some same describers also. So if Krishna has used this word earlier, he's using, it again, or you can say he's using double glorifier here. Guyam tamam and param vachaha, param vache, and paramaja means supreme words. So most confidential, and then he's saying that these superlatives he's using, to highlight that how glorious this knowledge is, and how glorious the knowledge that I'm giving is, so glorious and all. And so this particular verse that is there, where both the superlative verse is used, guhyatamam and paramvacha, both are being used together. So there is a glorification of knowledge and also expression about the intimacy of this relationship. Ishto dridam hitam. I am determined to love you. So, and because you're very dear to me, right? I'm speaking this for your benefit. So, very important this verse is to understand. And now, what will Krishna say in the next verse? So, this verse is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. This whole verse is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. The conclusion is different. The conclusion is the next verse. But when somebody says, now, what is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita? So this is the essence. Somebody asks us, what is the essence of Bhagavad Gita? Then we say that this verse is the essence. Sometimes, when we go for book distribution, people ask, अरे इसका सार बताओ क्या है, इतना लंबा चौड़ा क्या बताते रहते हैं. Then I will say, मन मना भाव मद भक्तो मध्या जीवा नमस्करो. And then he will know that, okay, something I have read and come, like. So he says, Man mana bhav mad bhakto. In the 9th chapter also he says, same shloka, no? Man mana bhav mad bhakto madhya jiva mam namaskaru mam mame vashyasi satyam te prati jane priyosami. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. 4 expectations Krishna has from us. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage to me means offer your dandavats to me. Thus you will come to me without fail. By doing these 4 things only you will come to me. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. So when he is saying that man mana bhav mad bhakto, right? When he is saying this, always think about me, thinking of me. Always think about me. Bhava, mad bhakto. You become my devotee. है ना? Thinking of me what means what? With bhava, thinking of me, you become my devotee. Madhya Madhyaji means you worship me. And mam namaskaro, you pay your, dandavats, obeisances to me. And that is how माम एव एष्यासि satyam te pratijani priya asi meto. So, you'll certainly come to me, and I'm declaring this. Why? Because you are my dear devotee, or you're very dear to me. So, this is actually the supreme instruction. Why this verse is important, and I'll tell you that also, because this is the supreme instruction what Krishna is giving us. And it is also showing that how intimate Krishna is with Arjuna. You are very dear to me. Openly Krishna is telling Arjuna. You're very dear to me. So, if you see the first two lines of this verse are very much similar to the shloka in the 9th chapter, 34th shloka. Man mana bhav mad bhakto madhya jiba namaskaro, that fix your mind on me, and you offer your heart to me, and you worship me, you offer your obeisances to me. So these four, these four activities that are there, okay, they are meant to indicate that we offer our entire self to Krishna, or we offer our entire existence to Krishna. And what is the difference in these two verses? Okay, because when Krishna is saying that, over there, when he's saying, just a second, let me remove the 34th shloka. Over there, when he's saying that, Mam eveshisi yukta vayam atma mat parayanaha. See, Mam eva ishyasi. Mam eva ishyasi yukta vayam. And you will come back to me. Yukta means when you engage like this in man mana bhav mad bhakto badhya jivan namaskaru, you will come back to me. And atmanam mat parayanaha. So if your heart and your soul, he's saying your heart and your soul, if they're engaged like this, if your atma is mat parayana, which is completely dedicated to me, right? Parayana means towards me, or devoted to me, dedicated to me, then you will come back to me. But your heart has to be dedicated to me only. And in this 65 shlok, Krishna is telling something different. Because in 34, it is actually, the focus is on the devotees. Arjuna, you do like this, you do this, mom, you'll come back to me. And by doing this, in this way, Krishna is saying that you become completely wholehearted, devoted to me, and your soul also to me, your heart also to me, and then you'll come back to me. But here the emphasis is a little different. That, see, if you see, in any relationship, no, the important thing is that both the parties are offering something, right? When there is a love, okay, so the boyfriend also gets something, the girl also cooks something, and they exchange some loving dadati prati grinati is happening, okay, between both of them, but not a spiritual, it's a material dadati. So Krishna, in this 34th shlok that is there, in the 9th chapter, mentioned that what devotees need to offer. He's saying that Atmana mat parayana. Okay. The devotees need to offer this Atma mat parayana. You offer yourself completely in me by taking my shelter. This is what Krishna is saying over there. But here Krishna is telling that what I bring to this relationship. So what does he's bringing to this relationship? Krishna is saying that I am speaking the truth to you. Mam eva ishyasi satyam. है ना? Prati jane priyasi me. So I'm speaking truth to you, and you will certainly come back to me. So and because you're very, very dear to me, I am prati janeti. I am promising this. This is my proclamation. This is my declaration. This is my affirmation. I'm very sorry. Just give me 1 minute. Why is this frame falling again and again? I'm declaring this to you. I am reaffirming to you that, see, when Krishna makes the declaration, no, in the 31st shloka in the 9th chapter, he's saying, Kaunte prati janati name bhaktya pranashyati. So he's telling, oh Arjuna, go and declare to the world that my devotee will never perish. So here Krishna has made that declaration. Prati jane priyo asi me. There Arjuna made a declaration. Here Krishna is making a declaration to the whole world. But now here Krishna is making a declaration to everyone. To you, to me, to all the Jivatmas, he is making a declaration. I declare to you, Arjuna, you are a devotee, and this is applying to every devotee who is on this path of bhakti. So all those who are cultivating and having that aspiration of becoming a pure devotee, I'm declaring it to everyone. So he's saying that Arjuna, what do? You direct your heart to me. You give your heart to me, or you direct your heart to me, and I will ensure that you will come back. So see, when there is some declaration is made, na? So then that promise is very serious. And if you go out in the public and you make that declaration, then it is very serious, most serious. Now it is the what do you say, इज्जत का सवाल है जिसको बोलते हैं हम लोग. So now Arjuna is thinking, you are telling me to do this, but there are so many other things also that can be done. And they are also very, dharmic activities that can be done. So then Krishna is going to actually give the next verse now. Now, yeah. So our acharyas, in the Subodhini have explained Manmana, Madbhav, Madbhakto, Madhyajiv, Namaskaro, Mame Vaishyasi, Satyam Te. Krishna saying, I'll give you myself. And how is it possible for men whose hearts are contaminated with unlimited sins to perform pure bhakti to Krishna like this, unless whose sins are first destroyed? Krishna also says this dharma with atonements. Krishna will now answer that even if one is not freed from sins, one can surrender unto him and he will deliver him from those sins. Even a sinful man, like Lord Ram said, that even if Ravana will come and surrender to me, I will accept him. With so many sins, I will still accept him. So now, is the iconic, you can say, shloka, the conclusion of the Bhagavad Gita shloka, where Krishna says that Sarva dharma parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma sucha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. And if you see, Prabhupada has written a good purport on this. I'm expecting that you're reading purports in coming up for a better understanding. Whenever you know that at least 10 shlokas we take in these 2 hours, right? So at least 10 shlokas you should read and come. So he's saying that Sarva Dharma Parityajya. Give up all varieties of religion. Mamekam Sharanam. Surrender unto me alone. And I will free you from all sinful reactions. Aham tam sarva papebhyo. Moksheshami ma sucha. I will free you. Ma sucha. Do not fear. Do not doubt. Do not have that reservation. Do not hesitate. Wholeheartedly do this, he's saying. And sarva dharma parityajya means, to give up. See, it's actually a very radical declaration because Krishna has come to protect dharma. No. Paritranaya sadhunama vinashaya dushkrita or dharma sansthapanarthaya. He's come to protect dharma or re-establish dharma, right? So when dharma goes down, Krishna is saying, I come to re-establish dharma. Then why somebody might, wonder that why is Krishna telling Paritajya? Sarva Dharma Why is telling that give up all varieties of dharma apart from Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja, right? So he's saying that surrender unto me, abandoning all varieties of religion, you surrender just as to me, right? Apart from the dharma of surrender to Krishna. So, or pure devotion to him. And Mam Ekam Sharanam. So, why is Krishna saying that? Why to me alone? Why is Krishna saying sirf mujhe hi? Mam Ekam Sharanam, why take only my shelter or why only surrender to me alone? Because if you see, like we said, no, loving Krishna, having some emotions, and love is a matter of heart. So when we say love is a matter of heart, and when devotional love is directed towards many things, then it cannot be wholehearted. है ना? So there is one Krishna, and we have to put our faith to only one Krishna only, one God only, one Krishna. And of course, he may have many representatives. We can respect them also. But my heart will be surrendering only to Krishna. So if you see that, like Bhagavad Gita is actually situated inside the Mahabharata. And Bhagavad Gita is the sixth parva in Mahabharata. That is the Bhishma parva, right? So, because see, Adi Parva is what? The childhood life of Bhishma and Pandavas and Kauravas. And Sabha Parva is where Draupadi got dishonored by Dushasan and Duryodhan. Then the Varna Parva is like when the Pandavas were in the forest and the exile and all. Then Virat Parva is where Pandavas they lived in incognito. They were not found anywhere for that particular 1 year. And Udyog Parva is that Parva where they tried to avoid war. They attempted to avoid war, but the war was unavoidable. So in this Udyog Parva, it is identified that there is a conflict between this Kshatriya Dharma and Kula Dharma. So Kshatriya Dharma is to fight, but Kula Dharma is what? To not fight. And of course, I come alone in this material world and I will go alone from this material world. And my eternal relationship is only with whom? With Krishna. My family relationship definitely is meaningful till the time I am in this body. And they will help me, of course, to develop my relationship with Krishna. But if you see in the, there are two dharmas, okay? One is paradharma. Paradharma means spiritual dharma. And one is aparadharma, which is material dharma also. So in this Bhagavad Gita, this conflict between the Kshatriya dharma and Kula dharma is actually Krishna is trying to resolve this. And he's trying to resolve this philosophically by telling Arjuna that see, both these dharmas are aparadharma. Paradharma or the spiritual dharma is what? He's saying that paradharma is man mana bhav mad bhakto madhyajiba namaskaro, and that is why you follow this paradharma only. So when Krishna is telling, this sarva dharma parityaja, here he's telling means give up all aparadharmas, all material dharmas tum त्याग कर मेरे पास आओ. He's not saying spiritual dharma. He's saying that material dharma त्याग कर. And that is why he's saying that Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja means you accept this paradharma of pure devotional service to me. And then he's saying that, then he's giving guidance also that how to take shelter of him. But see, shelter has to be taken in this material world, and we have to do certain activities also in this material world. तो किसका shelter लेना है? कृष्णा का shelter लेना है. सर्वधर्म परित्यज्य does not mean that one has to become adharmic or and accept dharma, or which is helping one to do some, uh, or you can say that sarva dharma parityaja doesn't mean that one has to become adharmic, but he has to accept dharma which will help him to do this mam ekam sharanam vraja. है ना? Vraja means go, but vraja means we know spiritual world also, right? So if someone has gone to adharma from aparadharma, then that is very wastage of time. But if someone has gone to paradharma from aparadharma, then that is really very nice. I was an adharmic person, but I've gone to, paradharma. So everything Krishna is providing, whether it is directly or indirectly, uh, it is actually meant to serve him only. So when he is saying Sarva Dharma Pariteja Mam Ekam Sharanam means what? To give up those dharmas which are not favorable, which are pratikul, to Mam Ekam Sharanam Raja, which are not, and we give up those dharmas and we accept the dharma which is favorable, which is anukul to surrender to Krishna. This is what he is saying. Means what? That Krishna is telling that, okay, because at the end, Arjuna is adopted, Kshatriya dharma, but that is an external dharma. Being a Kshatriya is external. Arjuna is doing so that he can practice paradharma of bhakti. This paradharma means spiritual, what is it, dharma. And he can practice paradharma of bhakti. So Arjuna is not Kshatriya who is practicing bhakti yoga. He is a bhakta who is doing Kshatriya dharma. And his priority has to be very clear. So even, with us also, I am a devotee, then I may be an engineer, doctor, housewife, Prime Minister of India, counselor, temple president. So first, I am a devotee. That is my identity. Then I can take various roles which may be in the material world or within the ISKCON institution itself also. So when he's saying Sarva Dharma Parityaja, Mamekam Sharanam Vraja means what? We accept those activities that will enable us to surrender to Krishna. So even if you see in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj was a king and he had a very big responsibility of king. But when that time came to surrender to Krishna, and and he took that dharma of exclusive hearing and chanting. So that dharma he picked up. One dharma was that he was a king, he was a Kshatriya and he had to rule the kingdom. But when the fag end of his life came, he surrendered to Krishna. But his surrendering process is also not, the last time, chalo, last minute I will surrender to Krishna. No, it is a lifetime of preparation that Parikshit Maharaj had done. And if you know, right from his mother's womb only he had seen Krishna. So he was a surrendered soul to Krishna right from his mother's womb only. And if you see in the Hari Bhakti Vilas also, this surrender also has a definition. And this surrender also has some steps. So it's saying that, what is the shloka? Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam. Rakshishiti vishwaso gopriti varnam tatha atma nikshepa karpanye shadvida sharanagati. Recently, just a month back, I have started some sharanagati sessions actually. On every Saturday, I give evening 8 to 9. So this surrender can be, with these 6 elements, accept what is favorable, reject what is unfavorable. And among these 6 also, the first 2 are important: accept what is favorable and reject what is unfavorable. Because why these 2 are important? Because their actions, what is to accept is an action, what is to reject is an action, and the remaining 4 are emotions. Right? That emotion means rakshishiti vishwaso, having that firm faith that Krishna is my protector. And, uh, uh, definitely Krishna will protect me. Right? Like, right now we might not have that emotion, that, oh, Krishna is, or we might not have that faith also that, Krishna is my protector. He will protect me. But gradually, over a period of time, that Rakshishiti Vishwaso, that emotion will definitely come. That yes, he is only my protector. Every time he is protected. Every calamity he has been there with me. He has always protected me. The umbrella might not be seen of the protection. Sometimes we need a physical umbrella. Oh, Krishna is protecting me. No, but with emotions you will definitely understand. So when we say Goparitve Varnam Tatha, Krishna is my maintainer. Rakshishiti Vishwaso means whenever there is danger, Krishna will protect me. Krishna protected Gajendra, Krishna protected Draupadi, Krishna protected Ajamil, Krishna protected Dhruv Maharaj, Krishna protected who else did Krishna protect?
Prabhuji, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Whom did Krishna protect?
Bhakta Prahlad Mataji.
Prahlad Maharaj. Thank you, Prabhuji. Krishna protected Prahlad Maharaj also. So, and Goparitve, Krishna is my maintainer. And Atma Nikshepa Karpanya, my whole existence is depending only on Krishna. So, when, Karpanya means what? Without Krishna, I am nothing. I am useless. I am worthless. I can't do anything. Without Krishna, he is only everything for me. That is, you can say utter humility. What our acharyas, generally, they have in their bhajans and, songs, Vaishnava songs. So all these are emotions and they are very much, they are actually desirable emotions that we want. Right? And we should cultivate these emotions. That Krishna, I'm completely dependent on you. I cannot do anything without you. Right? But this cultivation of these emotions does not come in a day or two. It's not like that, okay, I switch on and emotions came and switch off, emotions went away. No. When you say, uh, when do these emotions come? When there are some actions done, right? So when I'm doing anukulyasya sankalpa and pratikulyasya varjanam, right? So when I'm choosing some proper actions. So see, for example, for Arjuna, what is that anukulya sankalpa is? Accepting the Kshatriya duty. And what is pratikul? Putting aside his kula dharma. Like, pratikul se varjanam, that way. So Arjuna still might be having a question that, okay, by killing my elders and teachers, I will get some sinful reactions. So for that, Krishna is saying that don't worry. Aham tam sarva papebhyo. even if there are some sinful reactions, I will take care. So now, for the sake of Krishna, I have to give up my lower moral principle and I have to adopt a higher moral principle. Then Krishna is saying that I will protect you from sinful reactions. In case you have done some sins in the past, I will take care of that. So, this is what Krishna is saying. So, see, when Krishna is saying, this ma sucha word, that don't fear. So, in this, even Krishna has his emotions, okay? Krishna is also with emotions telling us, right? Of course, when we are reading the Bhagavad Gita, we think, that Krishna is telling me only. Why will I think, oh, Krishna is telling only him and not me? No, Krishna is telling everybody, but I will always take it personal, like Krishna is instructing me in the Bhagavad Gita. So, Krishna's affection is overflowing completely over here. Because, see, in the 7th chapter also, where did he say that? Where he said that Yesham Twandagatam Papam Jananam Punya Karmanam Tvedanda Moha Nirmukta Bhajate Mam Dridhavrata. So Krishna has said that to be fixed in devotion, one has to be freed from all sinful reactions. Yeshwam Tvam Antagata Papam, one whose sins are eradicated, who has acted piously in previous and present lives, and who's free from dualities, right? So one has to end sinful reactions. How will he end his sinful reactions? When he will act piously, consistently throughout many lifetimes, when he is acting. And then they will become free from Tve Dvanda Moha Nirmukta. They become free from duality. And then when they become free from this duality of illusion, what will they do? Bhajate mam dridhavrata. They'll become fixed in devotion. But now Krishna, what is he telling? Even if you are not antagata papam, even if you are not freed from those sinful reaction, even if there is papa, even if you've done papa, please come to me. I will take care of you. I will free you from sinful reactions. Amtam. So, this is Krishna's wholehearted love pouring out from his heart. Like, when some child is being trained by his mother and, mother is telling that, go to the washroom and do susu, okay, or nature's call, right? But the child, spoils the cloth. Then the mother is saying that, no, first you go clean yourself and then you come to me. So, and that the child is crying, no, mama, you please pick me up, please pick me up. And mama says, no, I don't know what to do and how to do then. Then mother says, okay, you come to me, I will take care of you. So when the child is crying like this, okay, that, please pick me up, please pick me up. Then the mother, with very compassionate nature, because that love is pouring out from her heart for that child, then she says, okay, you come to me, I'll take care of you. So this is what is actually happening. So Krishna is saying that when this devotee tells that I'm very helpless, Rakshama, Rakshamam, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshamam. When the devotee is saying that I'm helpless, then Krishna says, Aham tam sarva pape Mokshayashyami masucha. When that devotee very helplessly is seeking the shelter of Krishna and depending completely on Krishna, that's why when Krishna says that don't worry, I'll protect you, just come to me. So this is an expression of this intense love for his devotee, which Krishna is actually giving. And this verse that is there is offering Krishna's love to us, and he's inviting us to love him. So imagine such a precarious condition I am in, or the living entities are in, that Krishna has to tell me, please come and love me. I also want your love. If you want my love, I also want your love. And this Bhagavad Gita is a, you can say, an open revelation for love and a call for love. It's an open this that, Krishna is openly telling us that, hey, I love you and you love me. And even in the, if you see in the, what you say, commentary, or Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is also that it is referring to when he's saying that Mam Ekam Sharan Braja. So it can refer to two things. Ekam can be attached to Mam or to Sharanam also. So it is referring to Krishna as the only object of worship. एक ही व्यक्ति को जो है आपको भजना है. Only one person. And we accept surrender to Krishna as a means for spiritual elevation, right? If I'm surrendering. So in spiritual life, there are two things. One is the means and one is the goal, the sadhan and the sadhya. So one meaning is we will give up all other sadhan, all other means, right? Karma Yoga, Gyan Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, being the Prime Minister of India, teacher, doctor, engineer and lawyer, everything I'll give up. And accept the sadhana of bhakti only. Sharanam prapadye. Right? So, when we take up Mamekam, that means give up all other sadhya also. The goal also. Sometimes people may have different goals also. Somebody wants moksha and somebody wants demigod worship or devta upasana. So Krishna is telling, I am only the means and I am only the goal. I am only sadhan and I am only sadhya. And accept me only as the sadhya. So this verse is saying that Krishna is only the sadhya and bhakti is only the sadhan. And even for devotees, if you see, the sadhan and sadhya are same. Here and in spiritual world, I always say this. That over here also I have to do Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. And in the spiritual world also I have to do Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. It's not that over here I will do something else and there I'll do something else. No. Means and the goal are the same. And that is why Bhagavad Gita discusses on various sadhya and on various sadhan. Sadhan means, many other paths. So this is in a part of the Vedic culture where multi-level form of worship is there, right? And this Vedic culture are at different levels of sadhya and sadhana, but that is meant so that people finally come towards this pure bhakti for Krishna. So many people say, that only my path is correct and all other paths are wrong. No, it is not that. All other paths also, Krishna is using that sarva dharmam. And he is not rejecting those paths. So there are some lower paths also. There are some other more lower paths also, but not wrong path. So bhakti to Krishna leads to the fastest and the, or you can say, the highest elevation. Like when Krishna says, Yanti Devavratan Devan. So going to the Devtas are also not small things, right? But when he's saying that Sarva Dharmam, Dharman, when he's saying Dharman, then, some externals also can be referred. But when he's saying Mamekam Sharanam, then he's referring to, refer to everything internal of the heart. So when in, if you see in Krishna book, these Yagya Patnis, the Brahmanas' wives, Yagya Patnis, they were there. And these Yagna Brahmanas, dharmas, they were not so both were there. Yagya Patnis and the Yagna Brahmanas also there. But this Yagya Brahman dharmas was not leading them to Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. And even in Bali Maharaj's cases, because see, in these Brahmana Patnis, what did they do? They rejected that yogic process and they went to Krishna, Balaram, and offered them, nice, delicious prasadam to them, right? So everything they left, Sarva Dharma Parityajya Mamekam, and then they didn't Mamekam Sharanam to Krishna. And even with Bali Maharaj also, he rejected his teacher and he did Mamekam Sharanam to Vaman Dev. And even with the gopis also, if you see, what he did, what do you say? The dead dark night also, at night time, which is actually paradharma. Gopis even gave up their duties towards their children. Midnight duties also. Like some gopis feeding the child, some gopis changing the diaper. That also she left. So for the sake of Krishna, we should not only give up bad of this world, but also good of this world. Pious work also, if required, should be given up. Because good and bad both are at the material level. When you see that if you do good punya, good karmas also, or you go to bad karmas, you again have to come down over here, right? So Krishna is telling, give up both, good and bad both. And uh, uh, because see, good and bad are at material level, but Krishna is at what level? Transcendental level. So externals are important, but that importance is so that we can surrender to Krishna. So when in the Vishnu Purana, the shlok is there, Smartavya Satatam Vishnu Vismartena na Jatu Chat. So over there, what is he saying? That the purpose of all those rules and regulations, regulations is Sarva Vidhi Nishidha, is to remember Krishna, to always remember and to never forget Krishna, right? This is the purpose of all the rules and regulations. So sometimes for a higher cause, we do break some lesser rules also, right? Like for example, in the DT kitchen, if you see, Radharani's kitchen is there, okay? And in the DT kitchen, what rule we have? That only Brahmin initiated and first initiated will enter, right? But sometimes, because if we have lack of manpower, what do? We even give entrance to those who are chanting 16 rounds who are not even initiated. And furthermore, during Gundicha Marjan, we give entry in that DT kitchen to even those who are chanting 4 and 5 rounds. Right? Sometimes we do that, right? So, some rules, because that person is trying to remember Krishna, that person has a desire to serve Krishna, and maybe, by the mercy of Srimati Radharani, that person will elevate. But the intention is pure, right? So, Sarva Dharma Parityajya means, material religiosity. And Mamekam Sharanam Vraja means what? When the gopis see Krishna, or sorry, when the gopis see Lord Vishnu in rasa dance. So such surrender might require some very extreme degree of sacrifice, you know. So Ma Sucha, you don't fear, you don't have any reservations, don't hesitate, you come. So whatever we may have in this world gives us some sense of security and shelter, and it may be at a material status also, but our job, our relationships, and here Krishna is saying that give up that security and take the real security, which comes up only by surrendering to him. And because why? Because only Krishna is only the supreme protector. See, when a particular servant is, surrendered to the master is bound to give him protection. Or even if a dog, is taking shelter of the master gives him protection. And why? Over here, Krishna is the supreme protector. He can offer protection which no one else in the world can offer us. Right? So, Krishna is supremely strong and caring, and therefore he is saying that Ma Suchaha, don't fear. We may fear, because surrender involves some giving up many things of, our own agendas and all. But what we are giving up is our sources of, pseudo security. That is why in the Bhagavatam also, if you see, when in the second canto, wait a sec, okay, let me open the second canto. Canto 2, chapter. देहापत्ये कलादृश्य आत्मसन्न्यास अस्तवपि तेषां प्रमत्तो निधनं पश्यन्नपि न पश्यति. So one is getting security from this dehapatya. Deha means body, apatya means children, kalatra means wife, and adisha means everything in relation to them. And through them, through this body, children, wife, and anything relation to them, right? We are getting some security, right? And then he's saying, what is he saying over here? Atma sanyeshu astu api. So he's saying that one is thinking that this body, wife, children, they are my protectors. They will protect me. They are my sena, my soldiers. So I am a warrior and this is my Sena. And with this, Sena, I will protect myself. Right? So, but what is he saying? That they are asatsu, they are fallible, they are temporary. None of them can give me permanent protection. And then he's saying, Tesham pramatta ni dhanam. Pashanapina pashati. So, when one is seeing this, if you see the translation, when one is seeing this futility, right, of all these things, but is still holding on to them, then he's saying that although sufficiently experienced, they still do not see the inevitable destruction. And because they don't have any Atma Tattva, right? So all these, are still holding, and though they are seeing, they are not seeing. So Krishna does not want us to stay in this illusion like this. He does not want us to suffer in this kind of, security, which is very uncertain. And because we feel that, okay, this will provide me safety, but we are not sure if it will provide me safety or not. So Krishna is telling, don't fear. You come to me. Don't think that when you will take shelter of me, I will not protect you. I will definitely protect you. Ma Sucha, do not fear. So when we are giving up some material things, for Krishna's sake, we have to understand that what we are giving up is far, far teeny minny than what we are going to get. Sometimes we may feel that, okay, why are our acharyas or why our guru is telling us not to have too much of screen time? But it's such a tuchha thing, that why do I need to know so many things of this world? Why not I need to know more about Krishna? So this pseudo security is like a drop of water in that desert. But what Krishna is going to give us is a very big ocean of devotion for him. And that is why, Prabhupada also is saying that, that you use. In fact, if you see, even Prabhupada is a best example that he used his intelligence in serving Krishna. He was always thinking, what is the best way to serve Krishna? Should I write a book? Should I start an institution? Should I go to America? So when we sincerely are serving Krishna, then he is giving us that intelligence. He will give us that intelligence. Okay, I rest my speech over here. It's like 20 minutes up. And we will continue. I am sure we will finish it by the next weekend on Saturday. So I want to just know, of course, we'll be discussing it again on the next weekend also. What do you all think that this is June month and this is 21st? Okay. 28th June, I should finish the chapter. Okay. So when do you think that you would like to have your examinations? On the 5th or the 12th? We need a Vaishnav calendar also, no? Because if there is some other day, when is Ashadi Ekadashi? Any idea?
Mataji, I think it's 6th July.
So we'll not have, Ashadi Ekad on that day. Shayan Ekadashi we will not have. Then we have the 12th. On the 12th there is nothing. 19th is again nothing. We don't have anything over there. 21st is an Ekadashi that time. Do you all think 19th would be a good date for examination? You have almost 4 weeks from now onwards. You can say. 19th July, is it a good day? Because post that, then 26th, I think I will be tied up. There is 25th and 26th, there is some seminar which I have enrolled in for. And it's from morning to evening. And I think I have enrolled in for another course also on every Saturday, Sunday. So that also will be little difficult. But that course is from in the evening, not in the morning. We enrolled in for that course. And that course is going to go on for almost 5 long years. It's a dead commitment of 5 years. So 19th, should we fix this? Should we lock this date? Everybody is okay with this? 19th July?
Okay, Mataji, for me.
Sushil Prabhu, is it okay?
Mataji, I may need little more time.
Okay. Okay. And Mahendra Prabhu, Matsyendra Prabhu, I feel all are
Mataji,
okay.
I am in Puri. I am in Puri from Snan Yatra to Bauda Yatra.
So the date is actually up. 19th is, you'll be back by 19th, Prabhuji. Right? Till what day you are there in Puri?
11th. The preparation cannot be done. Preparations.
Okay, should we shift it to 26th July? Wait, let's see what is this 26th July. Nothing is there. 26th July, is it a good day?
Yeah, that is okay. At least I get them.
Okay, Mataji, for me, it should be okay.
Yeah, so I think for 2-3 people, Rajamalu Prabhu and other senior citizens, it is good for them also. Okay, so let's lock 26th July for our examination. Okay, I'll put it in this. I'll just message you the open book question. Open book question, have I declared?
No, Mataji, not yet.
Okay, I'll declare the open book questions also in the WhatsApp group. 2 open book questions also, you can write them down and you can submit to them. Okay. Any other questions? Anybody has doubts, queries?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Mataji, as we are just talking about surrender to Krishna and we should give up all the other material dharma. So, normally, I have seen somebody and they speak like this that if somebody is not well in the house or they are not favorable for your Krishna consciousness and you are doing some arti or you are doing some service for Krishna, you should not do because your family members are not, you have to take care first for them and then take care of Krishna. Like. So what kind of...
Yeah, see, sometimes now what happens? Some things are very urgent also, Prabhuji. So if a family member requires some health attention and it is very much important, then on humanity grounds, we attend to them first, right? For example, you are chanting your rounds and all of a sudden somebody in the family has met with an accident. Okay. So you will not say, okay, let me complete my 16 rounds first because that is my dharma towards Krishna first. And then by the time that person within seconds or minutes might lose his life. So we need to, distinguish what is urgent also at that point of time because, that is my duty towards my, family also. And humanitarian grounds also, it is important that, right time that medication has to be given if somebody is met with an accident. And I will say, that I will chant my 16 rounds and then only come to help you. Not that way. What is immediately urgent required because the Paramatma is residing in that particular person's heart also, no? And help is required and that person is dependent on you for finance and all these things, right? Because that person alone cannot go to the, say the hospital will say that first put so much money, then we will start your, medications and all, your treatment. So sometimes we need to, use our instincts that what is important, how my relationship is there with that particular person. And then once that person is gone inside and pretty settled, then you can continue your rounds and complete your rounds also. Your devotion to Krishna, you can do that way also, right? So I think sensitivity is important in this. How much are we sensitive to that particular person's needs? That is required. Okay, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, anybody else has any questions, doubts, queries? Okay, fine. We'll just wind up for the day and I will put in the message on the WhatsApp group. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Hare Krishna, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat.
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.